Hi there, it's Anne from the Covid-19 Quarantine Central, Terrigal, New South Wales, Australia. Be good to each other. Stay safe, stay healthy. Stay at home. I would very much like to introduce one of my very, very closest people on the planet, Jo Jackson. Jo Jackson is a performance coach. She's also a learning and capability architect, and she's an isogenics consultant. Just an absolutely brilliant human being, absolutely brilliant. Hi, Jo, how you going?
Hey, Ange, I'm good, thanks, son. How are you?
I'm good, I'm really good. Fantastic. Post-negative COVID-19 test, negative.
Yay!
Yeah, just absolutely brimming from the top. Absolutely. Okay, thank you so much for being here. So blessed and so honoured. So blessed. I'm just going to jump straight into this because you're
Go for it.
Yeah, so you're such a dynamic person. Okay, so oh my gosh, the video today is about the current issues and the Australia's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and how it affects you as a mother, how it affects you as an entrepreneur, how it affects you as a businesswoman, as a sister, or as a daughter, as a citizen, a resident of Australia. How do you feel? Have at it. Let me know.
Yeah, well, there's so many different hats that I play in that question. So overarching answer to that would be probably could have done without it, but didn't really get much say. So always have the opportunity of deciding how I'm going to respond to something that's uncertain, especially something that's global pandemic uncertain. I mean, the fact of life is we deal with uncertainty every single day, but we wind it into the faith factor and we don't even think about it because we associate the risk with just what I do. But in this circumstance, it's vast and it's unknown, and a lot of people are really, really scared by it because of the unknown factor. And that's really heightening a sense of panic. For me, it impacts me in multiple ways, depending on what hat I'm wearing at the time. As a parent, I'm now homeschooling 2 primary school children who go to 2 separate schools. So that means that they're running on different timetables. I'm dealing with different teachers who, by the way, have been absolutely amazing, and full credit to the teachers who have just been flexible and pivoted like ballerinas on this one to get this stuff up and running. So total credit to the education department or whomever has done that, because you've made my life a lot easier. I have children that like to achieve and get bored very, very easily. So the structure that I've been given enables me to be able to maintain some type of efficiency in my full-time role without having to go 100% into teacher mode and then still being able to maintain the expectations of my learning architect role. So that's been a huge help for me. I'm mindful of the people around me who are not handling it the same way. I see a lot of fear. I talk to a lot of people every day on Messenger through my Facebook profile, and there's a various degree of I'm scared, I don't know what to do, versus I'm really angry, I have to stay in my house, I'm not sick. And then there's other people who say, well, the government should have this under control and be telling us what to do. And then you get people like me who say, okay, you know what? I'm capable of making my own decisions. I'm going to get the information only that I need. So I'm not going to get anything else. I'm not going to watch all the media and listen to all the radio stations and spend 24/7 on the TV scrolling through the latest feeds, which is actually not the latest. I have the source of information, which is 1 or 2, and I go, right, what does it look like today? It looks like this, great. Then my decision's not changing. I decided to bring my children home and have them homeschooling here before the schools decided that it was a good idea. And that again was my choice as a parent. At the end of the day, I'm responsible. So I don't wait for anybody else to tell me what I need to do as far as my children are concerned. I'm the parent, I'm responsible, so I make the call.
Perfect. Wonderful. That's really amazing. Like and it's so brave of you to have been taken a preventative step where this pandemic's and where Australia is concerned, and it's really responsible. It's very admirable. Really, really awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So how has it impacted, like this whole situation with COVID-19? How has it impacted your businesses? How has it impacted your first of all, your businesses, your coaching and the architect work that you do?
It's a really interesting question. My general response to that is I'm fortunate enough at this point in time that there's been no significant impact negatively. So the people that I contract out to for my learning architect role have been very supportive of everyone, because we're effectively all in the same situation. There's about 35,000 of us across the globe in this organisation. So they're being very patient and making sure we have everything that we need. So from that perspective, there is a lot of uncertainty about the future because it is a contract role. And in light of the fact that the company itself has had to pivot and change, we're not quite sure what will happen as a result of that, whether that contract is going to continue, whether it's going to be cut short. And thankfully, everybody in the team is going with the whole mentality of we still have a job to do. It might be a little bit slower because we're also homeschooling, but we still have a job to do and we're still committed to it. And the business that employs us is still committed to us. So that's really helpful. For the coaching role, yeah, we're really lucky. For the coaching role, it's just the conversations that I'm having are so wide and varied. So you've got people at like this end of the scale that are really nervous and unsure and I don't know what to do, and actually ask me for advice. But I tend not to give advice to people. I'll look to reassure them instead and just say things like, you know what, this might be an unknown, but it'll be perfectly okay. We just need to make sure that you're taking care of your mindset every day. So that's a really big one, to make sure that we're checking in and constantly reframing, constantly looking for opportunity as opposed to negativity. And that's a personal choice. But then you've got people at the other end of the spectrum who are blissfully unaware and up in their happy cloud and not thinking about it at all and going, oh, it's fine, it'll go away, it's a big deal, it's a government conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. So I've got the two spectrums, this polarizing thought processes going on with people that I speak to, and I'll tend to flip with them or whatever they want. In performance coaching, I tend to be the coach that asks the tough questions. So I ask people and go, wow, that's a really interesting perspective. I'd like to understand how you got there. Would you be willing to share? In my Facebook group, we have these sorts of conversations too, where people will say, this is bugging me or that is bugging me. And because the Facebook group is worldwide, we're getting a really broad scope of what people are actually experiencing as a result of COVID. Not what you see on the news, not what you hear in the media. It's more along the lines of, here's my day today. I can't get onto the internet today to do my studies because the wireless is down. So the effect on me is going to be, my assignment's going to be late, or I'm stressed because I still have time to get it in and I don't know how I'm going to do it. Or I've left this assignment to the last minute thinking everything would be fine and the world's just decided to go completely chaotic and now I'm completely stressing out because I can't get onto the network and my assignment's still due. So it's a really good way of having people become exposed to some of the decisions that they make and how a left field ambush of, oh my goodness, we have a pandemic, makes us rethink what we do. As for my isogenics business, it's never been a better time to eat healthy, eat healthy, take care of your body. I'm a massive advocate of the 3 liters of water a day, the 8 hours of sleep where possible, although I only get that 3 to 4 times a week, as you well know. Your body is a temple and no one else can take care of it like you can. And people are becoming more aware of that sort of thing. Isogenics in this current environment is actually a really good choice because unlike the cost of fruit and vegetables and everything else that's hard to get, it's a static cost. So I've got people coming to me saying, how do I get on this isogenics and what does it do? I have the conversation about it's plant-based, it's this, it's that, it's really healthy, there are options. It helps to maintain your weight if you're a person that needs that. Alternatively, it can maintain your health and wellness through vitamins, age, longevity, etc. And it's, oh, really? Is it that simple? Like, well, actually, I'm living proof it's that simple. So yes, if you want some info, I'm happy to give it to you. So I'm having conversations about that too. Awareness is the biggest thing that's come out of this whole COVID situation. And it's a real shame that it's through such drastic circumstances that this has happened. But having flipped the coin on it, there's also room for gratitude that it has happened because now we can become aware of where our faults are and where our inefficiencies lie and hopefully do something about it.
You've just answered my next question. What do you feel that the global opportunities here are from?
Oh, wow. Immense. You know what? absolutely immense. This is a massive opportunity for people to pivot and evolve. And I know that if we get caught in the mentality of blame and we're back in the past of the change curve, I put a post up on LinkedIn a couple of days ago talking about the change curve, about the denial and the anger back in looking at the past versus the hope and the opportunity looking into the future. I'm a natural optimist. I'm always looking into the future. And I always say to people, the best place to be is to have one foot in the present and one foot in the future. Never a foot in the past. The only reason you go back to the past is to review a memory, say how beautiful it was momentarily, and then come back to the present and make more, and step into the future and plan to make more. That's how I live my life. That's how I advocate my clients, and everybody I speak to lives their life. It's the best way to be. And COVID has given us an amazing opportunity. I think if anything, I used this analogy with a friend the other day saying, we're like the naughty child that's just been spanked on the bum. And it's just like, seriously, you guys are feeling so entitled. You think you can't be touched. Here's your wake up call. Guess what? You can be, and you are. So let's wake up. Let's get the sleep out of our eyes. Let's step it up and realize the fact that we have an opportunity to do something with our lives now. Or you can sit there and wallow and go, it's somebody else's fault, when in actual fact, it's not. So I encourage everyone, seriously, guys, pivot and evolve. Right now, I have 25 extra hours a week. I did my calculation. I've taken on another certification to be able to complete during this period of time, because I have no intention of wasting it. I haven't changed my routine. I'm still up at 5. I have more time to spend with my kids. I'm getting my exercise in every day. It's opportunity everywhere if you want to look at it that way. But you can just as easily look at it as a negative. It's choice.
Yes, 100%. 100%. That's amazing. This is why I created this video, to be able to share like-minded people's perspectives with everybody, with absolutely everybody. I too feel that right now, this is the perfect time not only to fix abolish what hasn't worked, leave it in the past, leave it behind us. It hasn't worked before. Like Tony Robbins said, if you keep doing what you've done, you're going to always get what
you've got. Keep in mind though, and I'm sure that you're with me, we're talking about the people that are not directly impacted by COVID. We're not talking about the people that have been victims and have lost lives and are currently touched by this. I'm mindful of the fact there's multiple strains of COVID and only one of them is known to be fatal. So I'm very much a pragmatist around that. I do have absolute sense and feeling and just heart-wrenching for those people who have been impacted, that have lost loved ones, that currently have loved ones. And I have friends who have loved ones on the other side of the world at the moment who have been diagnosed, and their parents are in their late 70s. They can't go and see them. So I totally understand why people would feel angry in that situation. That's a small population though. And even in anger, there's opportunity to see positivity and hope. And you know what, if we sit in a state of fear, regardless of what our situation is, if we let our situation jurisdict our perspective and we step into fear, all it does is suppress our own immune system. All it does is have a massive impact on how we're going. All it does is change how we can manage what we're doing in our body and what we need to do in our body. So if we choose to step into fear now, we've got to get out of it as quick as we possibly can, because if we step into fear, everything shuts down. Yes,
100%, 100%. I'm also of the mind that our representatives, the cabinet, there was a situation, a missed opportunity to put in preventative measures, and they just, well, it'll be right, mate. We'll see. And that has caused a lot of heartache, a lot of distraught. It's impacted every level of Australian society. And if you're not directly impacted, you are talking about it. Because I'm not against one cabinet or the other. I'm not the pro ScoMo or the no ScoMo. I'm neither of those. I'm very much action based. Show me what you do and do it well. And yes, in support. But if you promise something and then you fail at that, and then you're taking a lot of steps that aren't proactive, that aren't for the people, because his role is his role is for the people. He's for people like us. It's his privilege to serve us, not our privilege to serve him. And it's not so much of coming from a place of anger, but coming from a place of, come on, you've had a really bad succession of bad decisions and you've just made another one. Come on, I can't congratulate you. I'm not going to pat you on the back. I'm not going to say, good boy, you're doing a good job now, because it's not the time to do that. When it's done, I will, at the end of it, if a congratulations is in order, I will be the first one to stand up, congratulate whoever is making the decisions, and shake their hand and do whatever needs to be done. But in the point of decision, at the point of the moment of decision, and it's clearly not a decision that is for the people. That's something that the nation does need to address. And also our hopes for our hopes for the future, being able to grow from these mistakes. And that's what we're here for. We're here to grow, we're here to heal, we're here to expand, we're here to discover what we truly are. And that is just the most incredible entity in so many different individuals. We are source, God, whatever. I don't have a name for it, but we all come from that part. It's how the other side of us, that monkey mind, that has a bit of a problem with it and overrides it. But yes, it's all about growth. We're here to grow, love, heal ourselves, heal each other, and to eat chocolate.
And dark chocolate out of the fridge.
Chocolate, yes, chocolate.
Yay. You know what? I think you've got some really good points there, Ange, and I totally love them. I love the fact that you talk about that it's really time, despite what's going on in the government and the authorities. I'm going to take 2 points and then I will wrap up. The first point is, Tony Robbins says what he says for a reason. When we're looking for authority, the first thing we're looking for is certainty. I'm mindful underpinning that is there is a man who's leading our country who is doing the absolute best he can. He has no experience in this, nor is he expected to. But we also don't have the infrastructure in place to be able to respond quickly to events. We know that in Australian history, we've demonstrated that multiple times. Our she'll be right mentality has really done us some disservice. It doesn't mean we can't fix it. I think we need to be realistic about what our government is supposed to do for us. When someone gets up and makes an announcement, the information is already old. So we need to be mindful that although someone might be our premier or they might be our prime minister, they're not standing up as a subject matter expert in that particular field. They're saying, okay, so based on what I've been told, here's the message that I'm delivering. And that's really where your point about we need to come together despite what we feel about what the government is currently doing. Yes. We are always responsible for our own actions. If you don't like what the government's doing, make your own call. Keep your kids home like I did. If you think you should be isolating, self-isolate. If you think you should completely quarantine. We're all capable of making our own decisions. Certainty is not just coming from your prime minister or from your premier. Certainty can come from you too. If you're not around certain people who can help you make that call, get yourself a peer group who can help you to become empowered enough to make that call so you can bypass your own fear of getting it wrong. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own body and your own life. And if it gets screwed up, you're the one that gets to make the call and be accountable for what that is. The other point I want to step into is just right now, more than absolutely anything, despite religion, race, socioeconomic status, increase in domestic violence, addiction status, sexual orientation, whatever you are, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, this is indiscriminate. This virus can hit any of us at any given time. So we need to take our own necessary precautions. Let's not go OTT about it and start buying massive amounts of toilet paper. That's just insane. Let's not bunker down like it's a nuclear war. That's also insane. Let's just keep our sensitive minds and say, okay, I need to do this, so I'm only going to take what I need, because I'm considering the 70-year-old widow who can only get out of the house once a week, who now has lost her carer and doesn't know what to do. So you know what? I said it in the bushfire post that I did months ago, and I'm going to say it again. Australians are known for the fact that we help one another out. The Anzac culture didn't come from nowhere. So instead of busting to go and get that lot of toilet paper so you can hoard it in your own house because you're completely freaked out about something you don't need to be freaked out about, how about you think about your neighbour? If you're going to go and buy 25 rolls of toilet paper, check your neighbours and make sure they've got enough. Don't just take it from you.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want advice from a performance coach, from a single mother that's doing 3 sets of incomes right now, who is homeschooling and managing because they choose to, take that advice. While you're thinking of yourself, think of everybody else first.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, applaud. Yes, absolutely. It's about
controversial, maybe, but you know what? I'll own it because I truly believe
me too.
that we are equal and we're brothers and sisters on the face of this planet. Race, religion, or anything else doesn't matter. We are all in this together, and this is one of the first times I can remember in my lifetime where it's never been so evident.
Yes, 100%. There's just agreements all round. Agreements all round. Thank you so much, Jo, for your time, for your passion, for your perspective, for being such an amazing mum, an amazing friend, an amazing entrepreneur, businesswoman. You're just inspirational. Guys, we're going to, down the bottom, we're going to be sharing Jo's links for her isogenics, for her architecture, and for her performance coach. There will be all of her links to get in contact with her. This is one of the people that has helped me through the current my personal current crisis. You'll see below as you go through the COVID, if you start from the very beginning. This is one of the people who supported me, who was able to hold that space for me to be able to sit here and do these videos with you guys. So there's gratitude, immense gratitude for this woman. She's so worth it. She's such good value. She's just enormous and amazing. So thank you, Jo. I will talk to you guys really, really soon.
Thanks, Ange. Nothing but love, honey.